the Buffalo Bills. The AFC wildcard race. Buffalo still thinking about a division title. Oakland fading fast. They've dropped 3 in a row. Hi, everybody.
Bills traffic, but Smith is right there on the spot. Kurt Schultz is coming over to make the play, jumps in front of the ball, going for the ball, and lunges out and gets nailed by Tim Brown.
Thomas Smith now in his 6th year out of North Carolina, first-round pick back in 1993. And one of the great things, Smith hails from Gates, North Carolina. He's been a part of this defense for a very long time.
Got a big body. That's a huge body.
2nd and 20. Jonathan Linton now in the backfield for Buffalo. Flutie to throw, and it's Eric Moulds. Comes up shy of the 30-yard line. Time now for an Enderman Thomas in the backfield. Raiders have been strong against 3rd down. Flutie, quick throw to the sideline. Andre Reed open for a first down. Picking on Perry Carter, who just checked in for Marquise Walker, and Reed just keeps chugging along in his 14th year. Now, we spoke
3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 situations, and 2nd and short situations, so they can move the ball effectively on first down.
6-yard pickup on first down. Smith remains in the backfield. Antoine Smith has some running room. Taking it to the sideline. Into Oakland territory, and Charles Woodson finally able to bring him down to the turf. 19-yard gain for Smith. John Fina with a key block. Now it's Gash and Linton in the backfield on a 3rd and 3. 8th play of the drive. Johnson was the motion man. Flutie able to make the connection to Andre Reed, and a first down for Buffalo. Last week, including a 52-yarder. This from 32 yards away. It's good. The Buffalo Bills take the early lead. 3-0. On 2nd and 8, Randy Jordan now in the backfield. Wilson, good protection as he airs it out deep. Struggle for the football, and it's intercepted by Schultz. James Jett, the intended receiver, and Schultz has his 5th pick of the year.
Well, Wade Wilson was not patient on this drive. He saw something open, went with a play-action fake, saw James Jett on a post pattern down the field, decides to let it fly, but look at the way that Kurt Schultz breaks on the ball and just takes it away from James Jett. That's outstanding defensive play.
Head coach against the Raiders. 3rd and 9 for Buffalo. Flutie out of the shotgun. Stepping up and gunning. Quickly, Andre Reed. Coverage provided by Perry Carter. And as we came in talking about Eric Moulds, it reminds you, don't forget about Reed, a future Hall of Famer.
Well, he's got almost as many catches as Eric Moulds, just not the yardage, but here's a guy that can do everything. He's done it for a long time in the NFL, and they're going to put a backup defensive back on Perry Carter. Well, they're going to take their chances and go to Andre Reed as much as possible. That's just smart football by offensive coordinator Joe Pendry. Attack a weakness, and that's a backup to the defensive secondary for Oakland.
Moulds also made a 3rd and 3 from the Oakland 25. Kevin Williams in motion. Flutie. Andre Reed over the middle. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. A 13-yard hookup.
And I think the problem with this Oakland defense is they're concerned so much about...
Look on the 14th play of the drive. 3rd and goal. Flutie guns. Touchdown! Jay Riemersma. They love to get him involved in the red zone. And Riemersma with his 6th touchdown of the season.
Well, they like to spread this ball out offensively. I've said it earlier, Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, does a magnificent job of doing that, but getting it to your tight end, that's where you want to get him in the red area because it's a big body as a receiver. All he does is run a post pattern. Flutie steps up in the pocket and fires. He beats the defender to the backside. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills.
Christie adds the extra point. And the Bills extend their lead in the second. 10-0 Buffalo.
sacking the quarterback. He will get over a rookie, and he's licking his chops today because he's got a rookie across from him.
Second only to Reggie White. On 3rd and 9, 3 receivers set. Wilson has time. Wilson looking to run. The 39-year-old gets across the 30-yard line, but short of a first down. Marcellus Wiley, second year out of Columbia, able to get him by the jersey and drag him down. Yards a return. His longest of the season, 24 yards. He can return this one from the 25. Kevin Williams, he might break it. Williams in a foot race. Kevin Williams remaining on his feet. What an effort! Leo Aragus able to bring him down, at least slow him down. So the Bills did not get the touchdown, but they came mighty close. A 73-yard return.
And that Kevin Williams, he says you have to have an attitude to return the ball. Kicks or points, tacklers right here, and just outruns the rest of the coverage team for the Oakland Raiders. Gets some blocks down the way, but now he's just off to the races, and it's him against the punter, Leo Aragus.
And he nearly got in. Brought down finally at the 2-yard line. Setting up a 1st and goal from the 2 for Buffalo. Smith and Gash in the backfield. Remersma in motion. Flutie on the handoff for Smith. Bounced off one tackle. Motion man Remersma. Play action. Flutie floats one. Touchdown! Lonnie Johnson. First touchdown of the season for the big tight end.
Spreading the wealth around offensively, that's what Doug Flutie does best, keeping everyone happy, getting everyone a touch, all those wide receivers. First he goes to his first tight end, Jay Remersma for the touchdown. Then he comes back, Lonnie Johnson, and here, great play action protection, gets a good block out of the backfield by his running back Thurman Thomas, but at the back of the end zone, it's Lonnie Johnson wide open and just goes up for the touchdown.
Extra point from Christie. And now the Bills opening it up. 8:15 to play, first half.
Hand the ball off. They don't want to get it back all at once, but they at least want to get field position as a victory with their drives.
Just shy of midfield on a 1st and 10. Wilson throwing. And the catch brought in, Tim Brown. Now pushing Oakland into a 3rd and 11. Not a sellout here today at Bills Stadium, but mighty close. And a timeout has been called. Wilson, deep drop. He's got time on the dump off for Terry Mickens. And he came up just shy of the marker. Mickens angling off to the sideline.
Wade Wilson got great.
In the second quarter, 4th and about a foot. On the handoff, is it enough for Randy Jordan? Sam Cowart, the rookie, coming over.
Sam Cowart, Johansson.
And it's going to be very close depending on where the official spotted, but Cowart.
Enough. Barely. Jordan in the backfield. On 1st and 10, Wilson going deep. Caught by Dudley. Touchdown. Wade Wilson getting the pass off just in the nick of time. And Ricky Dudley with an athletic play. The tight end has his 5th touchdown of the '98 season.
And a terrific job by Wade Wilson. Right there, gets nailed in the back by Bruce Smith. An outstanding rush by Smith, but not enough. He gets the ball off to his tight end, Ricky Dudley, for the touchdown.
Kevin Williams, the lone man deep. Williams from the 8. Has that long punt return already. And Williams got tripped up, or that may have been another long return for Kevin Williams. Mike Morton putting some points on the board before halftime. Eric Moulds the catch. Moulds into Oakland territory. Drills it from 49 yards away. And the Bills have something to show for this late second quarter drive. Must-win situation as you can get. Wilson in some trouble, and he's down. Sean Price
Wilson.
falling on Wade Wilson for the sack. Word from your local station. Was more along 7, maybe 8 wins. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Flutie throwing. Wide open Remersma. And a big play into Oakland territory. This Raiders defense comes in with a big reputation, but they are not living up to it.
Oh, it's just a race. Can I beat him? Here comes the pass from Flutie. It's right where it needs to be, out in front of him, in front of his jersey. All he has to do is just haul that ball in. That's a catchable pass, but he does get hit on the arm. He only had one hand to grab it, but it was a great effort by the wide receiver, Andre Reed.
Maybe part of the problem, Brooks never looked back for the football. 1st and 10 from the 17. Williams in motion. On the give, Thurman Thomas. 11th year in the NFL. And every now and again, he can show you what he was like back in the early 90s. Kevin Williams sees it. 1st and goal, just inside the 5. Smith, he's got an opening. Touchdown! Antoine Smith brings it in. Seventh rushing touchdown of the season for Smith. And the first touchdown we have seen today, not from a tight end.
And what a job by the offensive line of sustaining their backside blocks. That play was meant to go to the middle of the field to the left. He cut it all the way back to the right, broke a couple tackles. He was in for the score.
And the Buffalo Bills are just cruising. Extra point from Christie. A 5-play, 73-yard drive, culminating in the Antoine Smith touchdown. Buffalo with a 20-point lead. Tonight, Jets will come here to Orchard Park next week. Wilson throwing to Dudley. He lost the football. Ricky Dudley coughing it up. And Phil Hansen recovering the fumble.
But Ian, Phil Hansen comes up with the ball, but what a stick by Ken Irvin on the outside. Ricky Dudley just goes out to the flat, drifts out, catches the ball. The stick right there on the football by Ken Irvin jars the ball loose, and Phil Hansen, just with his hustle, recovers the fumble.
Ken Irvin with the hit, jarring the ball. Smith. Antoine Smith spun down at the 11-yard line. 8-yard gain on first down. Dusty Ziegler on the board.
The blitz inside by Richard Harvey stuffed Sam Gash in the backfield, and tailback Antoine Smith had to cut the ball to the right where he wanted to take it to the left. And that allowed Terry Wooden to make the tackle for the loss. You've got to look at the offensive line in the scheme of things. When you get penetration on a running play and the back has to cut it back in short yardage, there's virtually no chance of picking up good yardage.
Steve Christie connects on his 3rd field goal of the day. A 32-yarder. Off the turnover, Buffalo tacks on 3. Working for the Bills so far today. Wilson throwing it. He lost the football. Phil Hansen scooping it up into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. And what is becoming more and more clear, this is not just Doug Flutie. This is a good football team.
Well, not only that, the defense has always been known in Buffalo, and they're led by Bruce Smith on defense. He makes this whole play go, but Phil Hansen today, Johnny on the spot. Nice move, a nice little stunt. Ricky Dudley has to pick him up the tight end. There's no chance with the explosiveness of Bruce Smith, but Phil Hansen picks the ball up and staggers into the end zone, but gets in there for the touchdown. Major play for the Buffalo Bills, but it's also Deacon Jones and say, hey, what can I do? What can I bring out from the pass? And he'll say, be patient, go with the move, set him up like a baseball player, throw a little fastball, go upfield, and come underneath with a curved ball, and get the guy thinking and confusion in his mind.
Wilson is down again. Sam Rogers. third sack of the day for the Buffalo defense. Reception of his NFL career on that play. Chris Moore, the punter. Desmond Howard from the 24. Howard's got a lane. Desmond Howard turning on the afterburners, and he's gone. Touchdown, Oakland.
Desmond Howard, 78-yard return into the end zone for a winner's touchdown.
Desmond Howard taking it the distance, 76 yards, following the 40-yard punt.
The Youngs and the Cordell Stewarts and the mobile quarterback that can get away from the rush and improvise and make big plays. That's what's thriving in the NFL, and that's why Doug Flutie has come back, and he's doing terrific now in the NFL.
This is Flutie at his best, a 5-receiver set, getting the ball off and throwing it out of bounds.
Offense, Phil Hansen and Bruce Smith, here he comes looping around, and there's no way a back's going to get him, and Mo Collins tries to chase him down, but he puts pressure on Wade Wilson again, and that's the thing, the knockdowns.
But John Gruden's new offense, George was trying to get used to it himself. Eric Smedley on the safety blitz, and that's number 2 for him. 5th sack of the day for this Buffalo defense.
And Eric Smedley
at 44, that's just incredible. And Warren Moon now finds himself on the bench, bailing out. He has it intercepted. Sam Rogers will take it back. Gabe Northern on the touchdown, a 40-yard return.
But and again, the reason why there's an interception, Bruce Smith was in the face of quarterback Wade Wilson again. He does so much for this team. Big return by Gabe Northern, but without the pressure by Bruce Smith, pushing Wade Wilson back in the pocket and throwing that ball off of 1 foot, Gabe Northern does not get this interception and return it for a touchdown.
First interception return for a score since Cornelius Bennett did it back in 1995 against New England. And everybody's having some fun on this Buffalo defense. 4 turnovers for the Oakland Raiders. And the Bills have scored 24 points off of those turnovers. And just pouring it on here.
And a spin move on the outside by Bruce Smith, hitting quarterback Wade Wilson. John Holisek came in on the blitz also and hit Wade Wilson, but without that pressure, Wade Wilson throws this ball away or throws it to his wide receiver, but it's under duress that he's got to get this ball away. Spin move on the outside by Bruce Smith. There he is spinning. You're going to see him going for him, but then he feels the pressure of Holisek and Smith in his face, just trying to get rid of that ball and throw it away, but it goes right to Gabe Northern, and he runs it back for the 40-yard touchdown return.
Second career touchdown for Northern. That is his first interception of the season.
What do you say about that guy, Bruce Smith? Still doing it, his 14th year.
Goes 1 sack. Phillips, the former defensive coordinator for the Bills. Tim Brown is in. Touchdown, Oakland.
Complete to Tim Brown.
A 30-yard pass play. Wade Wilson hooked up with Brown for a touchdown last week when Wilson came in to replace Donald Hollis. And Wade
Gave her a limo ride. Her limo broke down, so he came back and picked her up in his limo and took her to the hotel.
That's the rumor. Antoine Smith brought down at the 15-yard line. Now with 73 yards on the ground. 4 shy of the 1,000-yard plateau.
And right now you're seeing the Antoine Smith drill. They're going to feed him the ball till he gets his 1,000, then he will leave the game. And like I stated before, just pound it away with your big offensive line and your running backs and kill the clock.
Guess where it's going? Antoine Smith moving ahead to the 10-yard line.
Gain of 5 on the play.
A gain of 5, and that'll do it for Smith. He hits the 1,000-yard mark, the first Bill to do it other than Thurman Thomas since 1984. 2-minute warning. 44-21, Buffalo In front. Man to greet him, Thurman Thomas. Doug Flutie was there as well.
That's great. That's professionalism by Thurman Thomas, and nothing but a team here in Buffalo, and everybody's very unselfish with this football team.
It's called passing the baton and understanding your role, and Thurman Thomas was at spot in the postseason. Buffalo improves to 9-5. The Raiders, they've fallen fast as they drop to 7-7. And after tonight, they might find themselves out of the playoff picture altogether. 44-21, Buffalo